of light at curved surfaces. So before going to be learn about the reflection of light, let us know the basic of light. So can anyone say that what is mean by light? The definition of light. Light is a form of energy emitted by luminous bodies. Such as sun, burning candle, etc. we can consider. So, light is a form of energy which is emitted by the luminous bodies, such as luminous bodies. Here I am using a word called as luminous bodies. Luminous body means the objects are the substances. The objects which emits the light by their own. So if we observe in the naturally we observe sun. Generally we are getting light from the sun only. That's why we can say that sun is a luminous body. Luminous bodies means the objects which emits the light by their own. So let us come to the next one. So if you are seeing the speed of the light. The speed of the light generally is 3 into 10 to the power of 8 meter per second. If we are considered it is in the air or vacuum. The speed of light is 3 into 10 to the power of 8 meter per second in air. Whereas if we are taken, it is 2.5 into 10 to the power of 8 meter per second in the glass. So here, whenever a light is entering from one medium to another medium, such as if we are considered in the air media, the velocity of the speed of the light is 3 into 10 to the power of 8 meter per second. Whereas if we consider in the glass, so here air medium is separate and glass medium is separate, but here the velocity of the light ray is decreasing. So 2.5 into 10 to the power of 8 meter per second. So what is the reason behind this? So that we will discuss in the next chapter called as refraction, and let us continue with this topic, reflection. So before going to be learn about the reflection, we should have known the definition of reflection, no? So here light can exist in both the natures, such as light exists in both particle and as well as in wave nature. So here the particle nature of light comes under the ray optics, whereas the wave nature of light comes under the wave optics. So according to our syllabus, we are learning about the only ray optics, but special name is being not mentioned in our textbook. But even though the particle nature, we are learning about the particle nature of light. That's why that comes under the ray optics. So if we see the assumptions of the ray optics, so the ray optics works under the following assumptions. Here the 4 assumptions are there. First one is the rectilinear propagation of light. Second one is the loss of reflection. Third one is loss of refraction, and fourth one is the physical independence of light. So let us discuss detailedly each and every one. So rectilinear propagation of light. What is meant by rectilinear propagation of light? Means light always travel in straight line. The light always travels in straight line direction, that is to be called as rectilinear propagation of light. And also the light always chooses the path which takes least time. So here light always travels in a straight line direction is to be called as a rectilinear propagation of light. And the second thing is that light always chooses the path which the light ray chooses is that which takes the least time. So now if it comes to the loss of reflection, so What is mean by reflection first? So, the definition of reflection. Generally, for example, while we are playing with a ball, if we hit on the ball, then what happens? Obviously, the ball will comes back. Here also the same thing. Is that simple definition of reflection is bouncing back of light ray. Bouncing back of light ray. When touches any surface, bouncing back of light ray when it touches to the any surface is called as a reflection of light. But here, when it is bouncing back means that will traverse the same medium. It cannot change in the medium. It cannot change in the medium. Let us see. Before going to learn about the laws of reflection, I am considering a plane mirror here. So, let us take that M is a plane mirror. Here I am considering a light ray which is falling on the plane mirror in this direction. So this I am denoting with PO is a light ray and O is the point of incidence. O is the point of incidence. Where is the incident ray? Incident ray means what? The light ray which falls on the surface. The light ray which falls on the surface is called as a incident ray. So here is a PO is incident ray. PO is the incident ray. And what I am saying here, the bouncing back of light ray when it touches to any surface. For example, if we hit a ball on the wall, then obviously it comes in the opposite direction. So here also, the reflected ray will move in a opposite direction. This we are denoting by OQ. Is nothing but the reflected ray. So OQ is the reflected ray. And one more thing here we have to observe that. So this indicates the direction of the light ray. It is coming towards the surface and it is moving away from the surface after touching the surface at a point of incidence. O is a point of incidence, we can say. So if we draw a perpendicular line, if you have drawn a perpendicular line to the point of incidence, if you draw a perpendicular line to the point of incidence, it is to be called as a normal. It is to be called as normal. So here ON, let us take ON is normal. ON is normal. So here once again let us revise that the light ray PO is incidenting on a point O on a plane mirror. After the reflection it is moving in opposite direction, that we are denoting as a OQ. OQ is a reflected ray and PO is the incident ray we have taken, and O is the point of incidence. Point of incidence. And here the perpendicular line drawn to the surface at a point of incidence. The perpendicular line drawn to the surface at a point of incidence is to be taken as normal. So this I am denoting by ON. And here if we observe angle PON, we are getting some angle, no? PON, we are getting one angle, so that angle I am taking as I. So angle PON is equals to angle I is equals to, what can we say it as a angle of incidence. Angle of incidence, and this can be defined as the angle made by the incident ray and the normal. The angle made by incident ray and the normal is to be taken as angle of incidence. That angle of incidence we are denoted by the angle I, and here NOQ we are getting another angle, isn't it or not? So angle NOQ I am taking as angle R. This to be taken as angle of reflection. Angle of reflection. So now let us come to the laws of reflection. The second assumption of particle nature of ray optics is a loss of reflection. The first assumption already we have studied that light always travels in straight line direction, which is to be called as rectilinear propagation of light, and there only we have studied that light always chooses a path which takes the least time to travel. Now, so before going to learn about the loss of reflection, we have seen the definition of reflection is nothing but a bouncing back of light ray when touches to the any surface. Here we are considering a plane mirror M. PO is the incident ray and OQ is the reflected ray. Now, according to the laws of reflection, the first one is that when light gets reflected from any surface, from the point of incidence, from here only it is reflecting, isn't it or not? So when light gets reflected, the angle of incidence is equals to angle of reflection. When light gets reflected from any surface, at that time angle of incidence is equals to angle of reflection. This is the first law of reflection. And the second law, the incident ray IR and the reflected ray and normal the incident ray, reflected ray and the normal all lies on same plane. All lies on the same plane. So if we observe from the diagram, you see that PO and OQ. So these two rays P and O and Q both are joining at a point called as point of incidence, and this point is lying on the plane mirror. So that we are saying that incident ray, reflected ray and the normal all lies on the same plane. The first law is that when light gets reflected from any surface, then angle of incidence is equals to angle of reflection. And then second property is that, second law is that incident ray, reflected ray and normal all lies on the same plane. These two are the laws of reflection. So now let us see that is this laws of reflection. My question is that are these laws of reflection are valid for any surface? My question is that are these laws of reflection are valid for any surface? Here in this situation we have taken only the plane surface, isn't it or not? So in plane surface, angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection, and the second the incident ray, reflected ray and the normal all lies on the same plane we have said. My question is that are these laws are valid for any surface? Because our topic is that reflection of light at curved surfaces, but still now what we studied? We studied about the only plane surface. In plane surface the laws of reflection is these two. Whether these laws of reflection are valid for any other surface. Let us see. Curved surfaces. curved surfaces, or we can say simply it as a spherical mirrors or curved mirrors. Spherical mirrors are curved mirrors. So simply we can define that spherical mirrors are the parts of a sphere. Spherical mirrors are the parts of a sphere. How many types are there? Let us see. There are two types are there. One is concave mirror and the other one is convex mirror. One is a concave mirror and the other one is a convex mirror. So concave mirrors are the mirrors whose reflecting surface is curved inwards and the bulged part is silvered. So generally if we are observe the mirrors, either side of the mirror it is coated with it, isn't it or not? So like the same way, concave mirrors are the mirrors whose reflecting surface is curved inwards. Here if you are seeing the plane mirror, this one is the reflecting surface, isn't it or not? So in the curved mirrors, the mirrors whose reflecting surface is a curved inwards, I am saying, means whose reflecting surface is curved inwards. So here, this is a reflecting surface. This is a reflecting surface, and what I said, the other part, bulged part. This is the bulged part is silvered. So this is a concave mirror. And let us see the convex mirror. The mirrors whose reflecting surface, simply you can say just opposite to this one. So here we are saying that the reflecting surface is curved inwards, their reflecting surface is bulged outwards. So the mirrors whose reflecting surface is bulged outwards and curved part is silver. Curved part is silver. So simply we can draw that. How can we draw the convex? Which one is the reflecting surface here? This is the reflecting surface. This is the reflecting surface, and the curved inwards part is silver, no? So this is a convex mirror. So we are having two types of mirrors, two types of spherical mirrors. Spherical mirrors are the mirrors parts of a sphere, and here one is a concave mirror and the other one is a convex mirror. If you have taken the concave mirrors means the mirrors whose reflecting surface is curved inwards and bulged part is silvered, whereas the mirrors whose reflecting surface is bulged outward and the curved part is silvered. So this represents a convex mirror and this represents a concave mirror. Let us see whether the laws of the reflection are valid or not. Let us see one diagram. So before going to learn about that class, let us see some basic of that types of mirrors. Here the geometrical center of a mirror. The geometrical center of the mirror. So this mirror, this point is called as, what it is called as? Pole. The geometrical center of a mirror is called as pole, and it is to be denoted by, and then these should, we are saying that these mirrors are the parts of sphere, no? Parts of sphere or not? So if these mirrors are the parts of sphere, then it should have some center of curvature, isn't it or not? So the center of the sphere, from which the curved mirror is taken apart. The center of the mirror from which a curved mirror is taken apart is called as center of curvature. Is called as a center of curvature, and that center of curvature we are denoting by C. And the horizontal line which joining the center of curvature and the pole is called as principal axis. What is to be called as principal axis? Once again, let us see that the geometrical center or center part of a mirror is called as pole, and the center of the sphere from which the curved mirror is taken apart is called as center of curvature, that is to be denoted by C, and the horizontal line which joining the pole and center of curvature is called as a principal axis. Now let us see, if any light ray falls on this, that should have travel. For example, I am taking, this is the incident ray IR. After reflecting in plane surfaces means how much angle it has made with the same angle amplitude. So that also we will find here. After reflection, what will move like this, isn't it or not? So this is the reflected ray. Now the main thing is that to measure the angle of incident and angle of reflection. In a plane mirror, what we did first, after the reflection, we have considered a normal. After drawing the normal only, we have measured the angle of incidence and angle of reflection. Isn't it or not? Like the same way, the line which joins point of incidence to center of curvature. The point of incidence to center of curvature. If you are taken not only like this, if you are taken the ray like this, at that time what happens? It should have reflects like this, isn't it or not? So at that time how will draw the normal? From this point to center. So the line which joining the point of incidence to the center of curvature is called as normal here. Now can we measure the angle of incidence? Obviously we can measure. So this is the incident ray and this is the normal. So this one is the angle of incidence and this is angle of reflection. So obviously the angle of incidence is equals to angle of reflection in this case also. Means we can say that the laws of reflection are valid for any type of surface, either it is curved surface or plane surface. So angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection. Now simply we have learned that how to draw the normal. Simply we have learned the line which is joining from the point of incidence to center of curvature is a normal. So one more method is also there to find out that. Let us review some part of mathematics, geometry part. All we are aware of the tangents and secants of circles. Isn't it or not? So we are taking that this part is from the sphere only, no? So if we taken the circle, So what does mean by tangent here? What does mean by tangent? The line which touches the circle at only one point. the line which touches the circle at only one point is called as tangent. So secant is the line which touches the circle at two different points. So like this we will draw. So this is the tangent and this is the secant. The simple definition is that the line which touches the circle at only one point is called as tangent, and the line which touches the circle at two different points is called as secant. So obviously if we are taking the circle means it should have some center, no? So in mathematics we are having one property is that the radius of a circle, what is the radius of a circle means? The line which is joining any point on the circle to the center is nothing but the radius, no? Nothing but radius. So here you observe that the tangent is touching the circle at only one point. So here what I said, from point of incidence to center of circle, center of curvature, no? Here also the same thing. From point of incidence to center of curvature, center of the circle, is radius we are taking, no? So always radius is perpendicular to tangent drawn. Radius is perpendicular to tangent drawn. So like in this method also we can find out the normal, but better to remember this because it is the easiest way to remember that the line which is joining from the point of incidence to center of curvature. And so remaining thing about that, first one, angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection is correct. And the second, the incident ray and the normal reflected ray all are lying on the same plane, no? Isn't it all? Means the laws of reflection are valid for the curved surface. So the continuation part we'll see in the next class.